government, tell me there's no God. If Liberia will not begin to cry, coming together to cry and said, we don't want you again, leave, resign, tell me there's no God, I will never serve God again. I am a prophet of God, and I'm talking as a prophet. Right. The hardship, you have not seen that ship now. In 2 years' time, you will see the hardest hardship you have never experienced. Liberia will drink dirty water, and they will be thanking God for drinking. That is the kind of president you have. This president does not have anything. He doesn't have any template. He doesn't have any roadmap for the nation. They just force him there. It was rigged election. Rigged election. It was forced on you people. It was forced to be president. So, and the people who connived to do all of this and put him there, right? US.
You mean US, the United States?
United States. They are involved in this election. I am telling you, not politically, I am telling you spiritually what I foresaw. It was rigged, totally rigged. And now they have seen it, that this person does not know anything. This person cannot help the nation. So this person, Liberia, is in trouble. But I tell you this, I still repeat, if the president refuses to change, then the government is in trouble. The government, if you finish this government, let's thank God. Because as from next year, it's said to be fluctuating. Fluctuating. And all the people that is in the government, they are liars. All of them. They don't know why they are there. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know the reason of staying in that system. They are just pushing the vehicle like this. They don't know where the vehicle, they don't know where it's going. So the forefathers of Liberia, they are in pains. It's very regrettable. Even the former president, Syphilis, is even regret having this person as a president. So that is just it. They believe that George Wheon is too much for Liberia. That is the man who have brought transformation, total transformation to Liberia. That is a man who have turned Liberia to mini London or mini US. And he will have done it in second term. But they didn't understand. They are angry with him. They believe that he's against them. They believe that he doesn't like Liberians. That's what they believe. That's what they believe. You say Liberia will be zero in sports. Zero.
In sports?
Zero. But yeah, go to Nations Cup now. Go to Nations Cup. Let's see. Let me see you Nations Cup. Go to Nations Cup. I'll give $500,000. If you qualify for Nations Cup, I'll give your national team $500,000. I promise. Your national your
I'm not a perfect person. I'm not your business what I do. I'm not your business when I get up. Not your business when I go to bed. Not your business. I know where you're here from. To check me, I know. Huh? I got muffled. Actually, I can talk. I can cuss. Go to ATS. I can cuss my cussle. But you think I care about TV tonight? If y'all can watch TV when the go tell all the TV can be seen to y'all can be standing right there. Yeah, brother, that's true. That TV now.
But this case, watch the process with you. Speak up, he will never resign.
Your statement was very strong, letting the light of Speaker Kofi. That was very strong. He has given us
the assurance that we have decided to stay our ground to be behind him. Any attempt for him to resign, his life will be tricky.
That's a threat, sir. In what way, sir?
I don't care. Then he shouldn't play for all of us. You can't allow us to stay behind you. Then you make mockery all of us. You can't make mockery all of me. You cannot. They are saying my statement. So have they reached a number? No, have they reached a number?
Yeah.
So when you just work on, you say you get wrong. 36, 37. He go from your proof. Is that what the Lord say? That's man.
I spend cumulatively over 300,000 to 400,000 to run campaigns. That's my own money. Now 15,000 million. Let me categorically, emphatically, unequivocally state to you, ludicrous, baloney, baseless, and unfounded. I did not sign the paper. No one gave me a penny to sign a paper.
But was any of your colleagues,
May I tell you?
any of your colleagues giving money to sign that you know of?
Daba,
Yes.
Jeremiah Gausukan can only sign for himself or can only defend himself. The reason is this though. I'm not on the hill as a police to watch what they do. Let me inform you now. I'm the last comrade to enter the theater. I'm still learning the tradition of the house. I do not know all the rooms and the houses in the house. As brilliant and as eloquent I will be. I don't pretend to know it all. I'm the last person entered there. Before I got there, speaker was elected. Before I got there, all the committee in the lower house was saturated. They were saturated. You know what I mean? They put everybody on committee. If each committee in 9%, they filled it all. Let me put it out of English. They filled all the committee before I got there. Today, do I have a committee? No. Am I a serious man in the house? No. So everything was concluded before I walked in. So I cannot pretend here to say people receive money, they receive money. Because you know why? I don't know how to get money there. I don't know where they can go to take money.
You don't
I'm
know,
one of the judges.
you don't know about room. You don't know about room. You don't know about room 1026. 1026.
I don't know where you're looking at, brother. I'm trying to look for room 1026.
Boulevard Hotel 1026.
Brother, I was not in the legislature. I was not in the legislature. I just got in the legislature in May. So if you're talking something about 2022, 2023, how would I know I was in the executive? I was not even blemish to that. How would I know the wrong? We are learning. I am learning. Baba, let me clear the state tonight. Baloney, baseless, unfounded lie. Jeremiah Gausukan, representative of District 1, did not receive a brown penny.
Were you coerced to sign that paper? Nobody put a gun to
I
you.
just told you I conscientiously in my right mind.
I want to know. I want to know how you received. They gave you the paper. They explained 6 counts against the speaker. You received the paper by yourself.
Let me tell you something. No. Let me tell you, Prince. I guess your question is, my man, then why did you sign? I get that your question. Because I think logically, it will allow me to tell you. I get that your question.
Honorable, I come in there. You gave the reason. But I want to
know why your question again?
If my honorable man were honor, you were coerced into signing that document, you were threatened to sign that document.
I just used the word again. Let me repeat the English word I said. Let me use the English word.
Sign it, willing it.
Maybe you're not understanding what I said. Let me break it down for you. I said conscientiously.
Okay.
Without manipulation.
People that say conscientiously.
No inducement. Non exercise of duress.
Okay, so now
in my sound mind.
Okay, so why was that? Why did you?
May I clear it? No. Prince.
Nobody told me now you signed it willingly. Nobody.
Very good.
You. No, you're not.
Very good.
No,
so when I say somebody induce you that, I just English.
So yeah. So you.
So go ahead. What's the next question?
So why did you sign it? Why do you want to speak?
Very good.
What did he do What crime did he commit?
Next. First of all, Prince.
Yeah.
Prince.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
You asked me why did I sign?
Why
did I
did
sign
you
this?
sign that document to remove?
I'm coming now. I'm coming to answer. Prince. I enter in the house, May. We more. October, right?
Yeah. So
how many months from?
Roughly,
how many months from May to October?
Roughly, you've been in 5 months now, or 6 months.
Very good, Prince. 5 months. I suffer to convince the people of District 1 and Granger. They gave me and trusted me based on my work that I've done on my own. And they say, let me go in. Prince, one of the cardinal responsibility of a lawmaker is oversight. It is through oversight that the lawmaker will be able to transform his district. Prince, I got in the House of Representatives when all committees were saturated.
Yes.
I got in a place that no seat. It took me 45 days before I faced my own office, spend my own money before I get office. 45 days. Today, as I speak to you, I go all around help people on their committee, but when time comes, one committee getting ready to discuss, right? And they and planners send discussion to committee room. I do not go there. I did not go on the hill to be a bear ball or water ball to anybody. I represent a district that was disappointed, betrayed by CDC for 18 years. Unity Party for 12 years. Nobody in CDC government nor in Unity Party government can tell me it changed district. Which street they clean? Well, Lipo. I am the representative now. 20 years. But the only platform I will use to be able to develop that county and transform it is oversight. And people are going to treat me the bare ball. I ain't got no committee. I know that somebody who go walk up on the hill. Now I'm grandchildren send me therefore. I have a right to present and redeem the district. The place I will redeem the district is a significant committee that I'm a chair of to be able to go back to the district and rewrite. Prince, the street I'm facing, you know what I do? One of my hustles, I point. In the House of Representatives, in a CDC administration, in a Unity Party Joseph Waka, I pawn my house. I'm paying a loan off.
So the district don't have money that you got to go to the house?
Benjamin County is not on. Benjamin County is not steering no committee on a COFA. None. Not significant. Jeremiah Sugar is not going to go down there and be a yes board. No. 20 years of CDC administration with a Southeasterner, from president to pro-temporary to speaker to the very Fernando Kuba, who is the deputy speaker, was deputy. What have I done in the county? What are you talking? I just took a loan and I'm cleaning the place. I'll be there to December on the same loans. Soccer is not. I'm not on a committee. They go all up in it. No, I am there. I will be judged by what I do for the people of Chin District and the people of Grand County. The decision is not going to be what? I'm not going to be a bobo. No, I'm not going to be a follower. I will be responsible. And I said tonight, let me be judged by what I did not do based on what I promised. But how I get it done, I'm not going to hold nobody water. Please, the first woman you ever have relationship with that woman again? No. Let's do that debate. So going to be judged by the fact that you did not deliver and transform. 20 years of everybody who fight in that county, that district, is dilapidated. I'm committed to changing the landscape of that country. And if it costs me,
all of you, wherever you are, it's great joining us tonight right here on the midweek edition of the program, Face the Issues, here on Kings 88.5 FM. And we are right here in Central Monrovia. My name is Brent Gosson. We are right here with you tonight on this very fascinating night. Indeed, it's going to be. Remember, the tension continues to build up, and we are still in a state of deadlock. The country is at a crossroad, and this is where we are at the moment in this country. And so we are grateful to the Almighty God, and I hoping and praying for the best for our country. And this is where we are, and this is what we do. And we are committed to doing what we do, being very fearless and courageous enough with the level of dedication and commitment we bring to bed. I think God is certainly taking us through. So welcome to the program, Face the Issues. I want to say thanks to all of you in your communities who are trying to expand our broadcast to other community radio networks that can just be called all, and of course, online platform as well, trying to expand our base and working together. We are here making sure that things work for the good of our country. DTV Online and other community platform, online platform as well. Also carrying this broadcast, we are forever grateful for the partnership, the networking that we are doing for the sake of our people. We never stop talking. Like Sam Andrew will say, we never stop talking until it gets better. And I tell Sam that you are 100% right. The pastors will never stop preaching unless that day, that kingdom come. Yeah. So it's like the pastors will always just preach until that kingdom come. So we'll never stop talking until we get there. And then is it right here on this very day. We are grateful to the Almighty God. So tonight, we're going to be greeted with some group of students. And from the state-run University of Liberia, they have their student union there. They call it the University of Liberia Student Union, the OSU. They have joined in it. And for them, they are expressive and they are coming outside. And they did come up with a press statement today. So we'll be having them. And for those of you always playing our cash giveaway, the three wise men are what we are going to be promoting now. So I will play the three wise men now so that you get an idea as to how to start preparing yourself. The launch of that was done on today by Radio Entertainment. And so the jackpot is going to be suspended. We are back to and on the regular days now, you get 3,000 that you have to play for. So tonight, and it is a star 799 star, and 24 hash. You play with 3,000. But this is the latest that has now come up for all of us. Let's listen to this. And there is the three wise men that are going to be replacing the jackpot for a moment. And that is what it is right here on this very day. Listen to this as we go on, and I lay out the menu for you.
The three wise men have finally come. The on Kings FM. Yes, for the November year, the first wise man now choose Wednesday and Thursday to give all the Google thing he get. He will be giving $20,000 Liberian dollar, $50,000 Liberian dollar, and $100,000 Liberian dollar on Wednesday and Thursday. Yes, and on the 28th of November, you will get plenty motorbike to plenty winner, and the BB winner will win $1.2 million Liberian dollar to close November. This second wise man here, he's partnering with Tyler Reid and will also give $20,000 Liberian dollar, $50,000 Liberian dollar, and $100,000 Liberian dollar on Wednesday and Thursday. On the 21st of December, he will be giving away plenty iPhone 16 Pro Max, and one big winner will walk away with a saloon car. Yes, so a car on the 21st of December at the Tyler Reid Festival from the 22nd of December to the end of January 2025. The third wise man will also be giving $20,000 Liberian dollar, $50,000 Liberian dollar, and $100,000 Liberian dollar on Wednesday and Thursday. And at the end of January 2025, one big winner will walk away with a newly built 2-bedroom house in Marshall City, Margibi. Now, whole house. All you need to do is dial star 799 star 100 hash and play with just $200 Liberian dollar or $1.50 US. The more you play, the better your chances to win. The three wise men say, even if you play with the first man, you can win with the second man. And if you play for the second man, you can still win with the third man. The three wise men mean business. Oh, this game here is licensed by the National Lottery Authority and powered by Lone Star Cell, MTN, and Radio Entertainment Liberia. Listen to the radio and winning money. Liberia, Jack get better. Play small, win big, yeah, that's the way. Every hour
Okay, so that is why it is, and I would think for sure, we are certainly getting there. And you just heard it. You just heard it. It was just launched today. It's going to be starting on next Wednesday. So you can start building up now. It's going to be starting on next Wednesday. It was just launched today. And that is why it is. So I want to say thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. We are right here. And my fantastic students are all in class. And we are here tonight to do what we normally would do for our country. So we're going to intersplice it a bit right here. Like I said, so the 3,000, you can play with that. Star 799 star 24 hash is the number, is the code that you can use. You know, normally on a day like this, we'll have it and like this, but the 3,000 that we are giving out, so we can make sure that it works, especially for all of us. And so we are certainly getting there. You will get more cash, you will get houses, and the money is going to get bigger. The 3 wise men, that's what we're talking about. And we'll try to explain those to you. And so the 3 wise men code, and you listen to the promo. We'll try to share them with you subsequently and here. So tonight, right here, we have three representatives from OSU. One, Abraham Gabe, he's vice president. We have William B. Sandos, student representative, and Arvin Vakbana. He's a student representative and secretary general as well. All right, so we will be with them and shortly after laying out our basis, because they're going to take us through and this night, and we're discussing issues of national concerns. There are a lot of issues in foreign country, but our focus and everything attention is drawn to what this is about. These legislators, they have kept the country at a standstill, deliberately, intentionally, for no good reasons. For no good reasons. Deliberately, intentionally, they have decided to abandon their work and keep the country stalled. Oh God. No, this country is an interesting country. You know, in our constitution, you know what we put there for the human being? You know what we put there for them to protect them? We said, anybody who impedes the to tell you how powerful they are, that thing, we put that constitution, we put it there. You know, the constitution, like I told you people, I will always be reminding my class. The constitution, as per the hierarchy of laws, or the hierarchy of laws, the constitution comes first. That constitution, we make that law by ourselves, by standing on lines and voting on those things. So we crafted, we decided within ourselves and say, we the people, we decide that these people that we are sending as our representative, anybody who stands against them, whether they went to session, they coming from session, anybody who stands against them, you'll be punished. Now the people who go sit down, they just sit down by themselves, they choose not to go to work. We imagine to the extent that we don't want for anything to impede their work. We decided to put that in the constitution, that anybody who impedes the function of these legislators will deal with you. We put it there, not them put it there. It's not in our rules. It's in our constitution. They say except for breach of peace. So that's why you see they can be flying all over. No, we don't get problem with it because we gave them authority, right? We told them that a bunch of people then just choose to go sit down by themselves and just love it. Can you imagine? You see how disrespectful they are? You see the human being there? In sound and responsible country, the people there, all of them, they are impeached already. They are not working. Because we did not, for any reason that they will even adjoin, they should tell us. You can't just go home like that. You can't just start work like that. We should know the reason. And it should be out of manifest necessity. To the extent that when they even go for their break, when they're coming back, we can pay them some money again and tell them, say, look, you got to come back. We'll pay. Because every moment it counts in our country. Every day counts in our country. That a bunch of people there sitting down there and then talking all kinds of things there, and you're aligned to just happen like that, and they went free. Sound country, the people there, they are finished. The human being there, they are finished. Because you don't do that. But anyway, the student community, they've risen up. And we try to support them on that. I know many of you will ask the question, but maybe Madam Ellen Johnson said he spoke on this issue. Why are you not heralding it? Yeah, I agreed that former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, yes, he's speaking to Partially, I will agree and think she has some morals, and partially also, I would think that she doesn't have that, especially in this case. She introduced legislative and a coup in this country. She supported it. It started with Snow. For the Tyler, it was out of necessity, and she came in and I supported that aspect. The reason is that Tyler was very corrupt. The country image was bad, and he never wanted to recuse himself to be responsible enough. We were not even calling for him to be removed. If you check anybody on Truth FM, let me put it this way, not like I'm bragging. Personally, because I can remember one time Patrick Horner sent me a text. He said, AB, why are you taking the whole Tyler team? The way I can put things on my head, I have always been. He said, AB, why are you taking the whole Tyler team? You just want to be very careful. You know the people, the wicked in this country. I said, Chief, just leave it. I will deal with this issue because I never resting, especially when I jump on some issues. So that thing about say, oh, people talk about 2 3 3 with the live it. I don't like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not like some of you. But again, like I said, I'm God sent. I'm not born of my parents, but sent by God. That's me. I'm born of my parents, but sent by God. So you see, so I'm just different. So I told him that time. So the whole removal thing, I know exactly what it is. That time, yeah, the executive had no alternative. And of course, Eugene Nangbe appeared before that group that time. They were not even the normal again now. The normal that Ellen was endorsing the Wewig, that was 34. But they were just in majority. Tyler two on the other side. So because Ellen, the whole world was watching, the global witness report has come up and this, that. Tyler, just recuse yourself, go and settle this issue. So that will come back, you say you were not doing it. So we expected every other political will to get involved. And the political will did step in, pressuring him to resign. That's why the politics comes in. But you don't even know. This bunch of lawmakers who are performing like that, they don't even know. Some of them, they all the being this thing, yeah, they know how it happened before and all of that, but they just forget about it. Missteps. They just on. Like my boy said last night, and Nathaniel Debo, one of the experienced legislative reporters, yeah, he said last night, they got a lot of missteps. They know what they did first. This time, the Tyler era, which we supported as well, it was because of corruption issue. And so we pushed against it. We pushed against Tyler and said, look, you got to go. We did that. Look where they benefited from it. How much did they give us? Nothing. We have never been better driven. You go, Maya Nuko and Prince Boyden. And you can hear me call Prince Boyden in here. You know how long me and Prince Boyden came? Prince Boyden, look, we've come a very long way. They get respect for me. You go up Prince Boyden and say, AB, say, hey, you leave that one there. For you to get to AB will be difficult. Go ask your Prince Boyden. Go ask your Emmanuel Nuko. They know me too good. When I'm into something, I'm into it because I believe in it. So you don't need to give me anything as motivation. Just for the fact that I believe in it as a motivation by yourself. You don't need to give me anything. No. In a Fonanti, I was talking about recently here, talking about how Fonanti was praising the president trip. And I was blasting a Fonanti recently. Oh, you're not listening to me on the show? But you know why I came down this time? Because the rule of law has stepped in. And these people shouldn't be misbehaving here. Yeah. I don't need any time from anybody. No. I'm not inconsistent young male. Look, the country, I have understood this country problem, and for us to solve it, we must start acting like people who are ready to solve this country problem. We can't be condemning people for something and we ourselves are living the other way around. It doesn't work like that. So we got to practice. We got to live those things that we practice all of the time. People are watching us. They want to see to it that when we say this. By the way, we are certainly getting there. So the students are here, and they will be joining us in very, very shortly. So let me see here tonight. Couple of things I would like to share with you. I would like to share with you some things I have queued already. So the Fonanti block continues to get more endorsement legitimately. He has the authority, but that authority is not sufficient enough to carry out business in the lower house, but he is the legitimate authority that is in charge of the national legislature as the speaker. The Senate is aware of that. Jeremiah Kun, who's a rogue himself, he's a thief. He himself, he who doesn't want for them to dig deep into his stolen wealth and things that he got ever since, he and all want to see all kinds of things. Two things Jeremiah Kun wants to do. Jeremiah Kun, and this is where Joseph Walker, whichever way it is, you know, we all have said, and I have said that, look, we'd rather prefer Joseph Walker any his term than to allow a Jeremiah Kun to come. So Kun is aware of that. Kun is seeing that Walker is not backing down. So Kun is having some influence in this removal of Kofa. And if Kun has an influence in the removal of Kofa, Kun has a personal relationship with RLJ Hotel. Even during the course of the campaign time that the place Kun used to be most of the time, the election time, Kun used to be around there. Kun is the one that's sponsoring most of these things. They're spending money there. So all of these things Jeremiah Kun doing, Jeremiah Kun is playing double wood. One, he want to cover up his corruption traces. Two, Kun equally want to have a peak that he can influence to impeach Joseph Boakai and declare Joseph Boakai unfit, incapacitated, and then impeach Joseph Boakai. That's Kun's ambition. The threat to Joseph Boakai's presidency was to have an overly ambitious young man who is willing to betray anybody for the sake of wealth. He did it to Wheon. So if Kun can do it to Wheon, one more, he can do it to Joseph Boakai. Kun is a betrayer in chief. Look, that man is terrible. He's very bad. So he's doing it two ways. One, to cover his corruption traces. Two, to make sure he has a speaker there whom he can use money to influence everything so that they can impeach Joseph Boakai. Because he may not find it easily around Fonati because the CDC may someone say, look, it better we manage with it better we manage with Joseph Boakai there than to move or Joseph Boakai and pull a Kun, which will damage our country further. So you see what the politics is? When you see all of these things, there are two folds. It's either for audit or for Kun's ambition that he wants to hash too early. Because Kun is seeing that Boakai is getting forever young. And I guess what kind of song here they say, forever young. I want to be. Boakai is now forever young. Every time Kun sees Boakai, Boakai is forever young. It's trying to hurt Kun by the day. And Kun's constituency is not benefiting from anything. So Kun wants to step up. Joseph Boakai apparently may be getting that sign. You can't have a vice president who is having a role in influencing the decision to remove the leadership of the legislature. And you know, it is that same legislature that has the ability to impeach you as a president. How is that? Why would a vice president want to have flex his muscle and be so powerful? He wants to carry on coup against his boss? Yeah, it's obvious that it was going to happen. We did say that. We knew that these are the threats that Boakai was walking into. But the old man said wanted his resurrection. He wanted to resurrect. So he said, even if you were dealing with the devil, Kun is another devil that with Joseph Boakai who is willing to slaughter Joseph Boakai at any given point in time because he needs power, money. That's the boy. If he can betray anybody, he can do it. You listen to Clarence Guy. What did Clarence Guy say? Clarence Guy said that, look, and you see Kun do that bad thing he did, but when he got anything he wanted to govern, we gave him we are, and you see he just dumb we are like that. Clarence Guy said that in the recording. Kun is terrible. Two things. Kun wants to cover his corruption traces, alleged corruption traces, sorry, and then he also wants power. So if he controls the legislature and he's sitting at the Senate as presiding, then he has a speaker whom he influences. Joseph Boakai is finished. Impeachment, he's off. Now all Kun wants. And you can't have a vice president doing that. It's unprecedented. It is the president who's the mover or shaker of things. It is the president's legislative agenda that he presents there. So for the president to have his legislative agenda and not the vice president, how is the vice president becoming so involved into legislative issues when it's not his agenda that will always go down there, but rather the president's agenda that he has to push? That's the witchcraft attitude that's going on. We've got to save our country from this. But anyway, we are getting, that's the other side that you people don't know, that we know about. And everything I say here, I know exactly how I'm saying it. Terrible people. You don't bring them too close to you. And that's bad. You gotta remember, I remembered when in 2016, when they were coming out with a grand coalition, and Charles Bronski wanted to be head of that coalition. And then as part of the deal, they wanted to make Prince Johnson vice president of Charles Bronski. Charles Bronski said he can't accept Prince Johnson. Charles Bronski, the Bible said, me, I'm going to allow Prince Johnson to be vice presidential. To me, me Bronski, then Prince Johnson, it can't hold. Bronski knew the law. You see, all of you, you know, and I, you know, you don't even know how to get things happening here. Bronski said, well, not well. That thing that made Prince Johnson very walk away from that whole. Bronski said, me, I'm a Prince Johnson to God be close to me again. So people were proposing that to him and say, look, that the best thing we can do, we can have our coalition. Prince Johnson comes be here. And but again, those are some of the things. So we're certainly getting there. So I don't want to say Nima people are noted for that. No, I know there are sound Nima brothers and sisters that I have, that I work with every day. They are not, as people may think it, to think that they don't have time. They always want to clear people. But again, so you see all of these issues are fully, but we are certainly getting there. And don't worry about that. Don't worry. So let me share with you a couple of things in passing quickly. So we see something just flying all over the AFL people telling that for the second time now they think coming. I don't know why I'm beginning an issue. It's a normal thing now. That's a normal proceeding in the AFL now, where they got to put notice. All the AFL people will not get their thing on time, and they will not get their salary on time. But the only part of there that I know, that I acknowledge that indeed they themselves, they acknowledge that they talk about is this issue about. Let me read the communication small. Just flying with the thing all over on Facebook. Just something happening. They say by the directive. Okay, October 30th. They say COS verbal directive dated October 30th, 2024. That today? Oh yeah, that today. Oh. They say one headquarters AFL was informed by the Ministry of Defense of the delay of the disbursement of salaries for the month of October 2024. October 24. Okay, no problem. The person who wrote it here wrote all kind of things. But anyway, that's so your people. The High Command of the AFL via reference A regrets the situation and is concerned of the potential hardship this delay will cause personnel of the AFL and their dependents. Reference A further and indicated that the headquarters AFL is actively working with the appropriate authorities to resolve this temporary situation to ensure that payments are made as soon as possible. In view of the above, I am directed via reference A to call on all J. Why are you taking your thing for in a barrier, people in the outside? That's your normal life. They think that normal life of people that they cannot think them. But you know, the problem, you know why these things are happening now? Because number one, you had a chief of staff there at the last time who was very denigrating towards the finance minister. He insulted the finance minister because he thinks that he was preaching for the sake of the AFL personnel. They acted like they have the people interest at heart. All the thing they were doing is to incite the AFL personnel against the government. Today, the same problems are there. Nothing has changed. They were just inciting people, and they got a reward of their incitement that they did. They are appointed to strategic positions today. They incited the military personnel against the government, the CDC government. They insulted the finance minister. They said all kind of nasty thing about the finance minister to the military personnel and made it to appear that the people that they are insensitive to you people plight. So it's better to move. Today, they want got a better reward. You people are stay there as military personnel. They use you, they dumb you. They play, you play, they win. That's how they use you. You see what it is? These things are, you know, normal thing. For me, I don't like to be what they call it, but just the way they did it, that's why some of us will believe that our country should not have reached at this level. Today is it. So when you see people flying around with it in the military now, so now the whole military now every taking information and throwing it outside now because the way you're treated the military. Look, AFL honor former President Ellen Johnson Sally with Brandon Samukai serving as defense minister. We never used to hear about these things, and until they issue about their pension money, that what they call that, when we hear about something that will happen in the military, it was difficult for us to really see people. But yeah, now made the whole thing political now. So anything happening to it now, and as a result of it, that mean pulling the thing out, the thing me fly all on Facebook all over, right? Yeah. So that's why it is. Your day are so like that. Your day are military like that. They cannot thing for all to be discussing here. You know why it was somebody to know that the military not getting salary? It's bad. Nobody should know about security's inefficiency or their deficiency that they are suffering from. We shouldn't know that. All we know our military is good, our security is good. This thing, it makes a child to say, I come here and tell you, say, we get 3 police officers. You know what criminals would think? And those are things that we're not supposed to know. As far as we are concerned, we get police. As far as we are concerned, I also hear people okay. We shouldn't be knowing about their problems. It's bad. It's bad. Other wicked people also will come and they even say, oh, the military lawyer will get infiltrated and then pay them anything. What they call. You don't do those things. They kind of thing you're doing, you're supposed to be doing kind of thing. What they call, you see how you just damage the whole country now. You just make the whole security sector to just be political now. When we're saying anything, you're there attacking us. Yeah, you see why it resorted to now. And I am putting and beating and betraying anything to people. By the way, we're certainly getting there. Tomorrow I will talk about the AEC stuff. I don't want to mix things up here tonight. So I will talk about the AEC stuff, but let me just try to tell you that the Tyler block continues to receive endorsements. They were invited by the Minister of Finance and Development Planning, the acting minister, and for a program that the honorable speaker is supposed to attend. That one does not call for quorum before he can attend. These are normal communications, and that will always come to the communication that will always come to the speaker. So he receiving it. He also received another communication from the IMF, and informing him about a delegation that's coming. He's supposed to receive them. They're talking about certain credit facility issue, and these communications are all here. These are just normal things. For these ones, he doesn't have to have a quorum before it's effective. He doesn't have to have a quorum, so it's directed at him. So you have to attend to these things. So he's attending to them already. And at least we are certainly getting there today. Information Minister, my own friend and brother, and of course, big brother, and Jeremiah Pierre was addressing the issue about question about the situation that's ongoing, and his response was very simple. We'll get to all of that thing tomorrow. But the student community, they are here. But again, before we can get to them, let me share with you this, which is very cardinal. This is Sinquano. So you seen it? And so we think for sure we are certainly getting there. We will certainly get there. You, Mr. Useless Zola, you are going to be blocked because your door said you say I'm not there plenty of times. So I don't know why you stay doing behind me here. So I will block you tonight, and never you will be seen here again. So just go find a place to hire. Useless and whoever you are. And so we are here, and it's very much important that we are right here. So you go tell whoever the cause that ain't going us. And so the majority block things are not happening good for them. So like I said from the onset, despite all it is, I think Kofa is the most moderate and diplomatic speaker I have ever seen. Despite all that they are doing to him, Kofa is still welcoming and wants to talk to them. Y'all bring it on. Let us have it discussed here. I'm a lawyer. I will not stay here and trample on the law. No, y'all come here. Let's talk. I think there was a meeting between he sent a member of his delegation, or sent members of his delegation to go meet with his anti-block, and I on the other side. So I think for sure. But let me speak with Winston Blading. Though we don't know what's the latest update on some of those meetings, but I think he's reaching out because for him, he's concerned about the stability of this country. Look, if CDC was a wicked party, they will not check out the whole country. Why would CDC, the United Party people, will be more concerned about their country doing, their government doing something? Already they didn't do anything here for 10 months. Then they are taking action that will follow derail it. And if they left with Jeremiah Kun alone, Jeremiah Kun for him, he wants Joseph Boakai to achieve anything to destroy Joseph, and is helping. He wants to make Joseph Boakai to look incapable of running the country so that he gains grounds. Because if Jeremiah Kun can now influence the lawmakers and say, see how many years have gone now, the Papa is unable to run the country. See the errors that he has been making, the constitutional something, he appoints, he withdraws, all of that. Those lawmakers then will use that as ground to impeach Joseph. There are a lot of constitutional breaching then that Joseph Boakai has done already, which warrants his impeachment already. Kun understands that. So Kun will use all of these things and say nothing will work now, so that the lawmaker can say, no, but we can't stagnate our country, keeping Joseph Boakai there, then we move him. Then who comes there? Kun. Kun is playing dirty politics. And it's good for the Unity Party people. It's just that Kun want to get gone to be passing around with it to do something to one paper. But anyway, we're certainly getting there. But you see, let me call Winston Blading. Yeah, because these conversations the guys are having, I just want to understand from him what are the meetings? What are we hearing? They are the reporters. They are the one on top of these things. So let me just hear from them. Then we can call in the students. And so that we hear from them what they got to say. There was something they said today. I will read their statement and then they will now speak in actuality. Hello, how are you doing?
Good evening.
Yeah, Winston, you are breaking. I don't know why, which one of the network you are using, but whichever way it is.
The orange network there.
Okay, yeah, I think we are getting you. We are getting you. Yeah.
How are you, Abby?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on today, the majority bloc, headed by its chairman Samuel Koba, had a meeting with the bloc of Speaker Bonati Kopa.
Oh, okay.
And that meeting was requested by Representative Ellen Actor.
Mm-hmm.
And he had requested that meeting be heard in his office. So when he arrived, he placed a call to Representative Ellen Actor. She was later drawn by Representative Mopa. And then Jackie Korma also later drawn in that meeting as well.
Mm-hmm.
So during the meeting, Representative Actor had called him to ask, what can we do? How do we resolve this conflict and restore the image of the legislature? What is it that the majority bloc want? And we are waiting for what to resolve the issues so we can start doing the Liberian people work. And the only thing Representative Koka said to the Kopa bloc today, they demand the illegal resignation of Speaker Kopa in the school.
Okay.
So they said, is that the great power? Even Honorable Mupa represents a bureau, parliamentarian meetings around town, is waiting to give up that position according to him, and even relinquish the passport in that direction as well, in the interest of the legislature.
Okay.
But Kopa has said they have resolved that the speaker resign.
Okay.
We have been saying in the past, maybe, in the history of the legislature of my 13 years in that era, by the grace of God, the year ends with 14, people have been able to be removed, but they have been coerced to resign.
Yeah,
so that's all other. People like Representative Koga and others who have participated in that fight, succeeded in the past. So to them, they can put pressure on Speaker Kopa and he will resign. He was on OKFM the Julius this afternoon. And the president of the Republic of Liberia needs to be very careful. I was just listening to Davey. He needs to be very careful. Jeremiah Cole is very desperate, the vice president. Now, if you can recall, Prince Johnson, the Speaker of the County, talked about shocker to the presidency. That's one of the shockers can be used in that direction. If the president is mindful and he starts to get in this fight, trust me, he will be setting his own trap. Because these guys, if they can be bribed for 25,000 United States, if before 50,000 or 100,000, they got millionaires at that place. What do you think they will do? They will easily part of bill of impeachment, and when it goes to the Liberian Senate, it will be a done deal for people like Jeremiah, who the vice president, and others. So, Judah Jem posted Representative Sibo today on the telephone line was also Koga. And you listen to Samuel Koga, it tells you the motive. He went on to say the president will have no direction or option but to work with the group that get the numbers. Now, that's not how to work. And I love the stand that the guys are taking. For us as reporters, we now start writing a new script that Speaker Kopa has been removed and they can put on with the 49 instead of he has resigned. That's one story we have never written at that capital for I don't know how long, more than a decade. Perhaps if this will happen, Speaker Kopa will be setting or stand up for even you, Abby. When you shall left, return the grandmaster founder, and the people say, Abby, leave the media, go to the legislature, and people that wish on others around who will say, no, Abby is a good man, he has good leadership ability, he served as station manager for this other area, coordinator. I think he has good leadership ability to run the affairs of the legislature. So people who are envious of your success. Some people who believe that AP should not be.
Yeah.
Why should AP be a combo?
You're right.
When I come together in a number to say we don't want you and for heads to resign.
You're right.
So the standard that Speaker Popper is setting today, maybe that standard will live for generations to come. So the objective of the majority, but they are not willing to listen, they are not willing to cooperate with anything. The only thing they are demanding now is the resignation of Speaker Popper.
Can you imagine? So they move from removal, then they come to resignation. So they are now sticking to resignation because they know they can't get a removal point executed.
And I love the decision for the Speaker Black. They were very blunt to them. Representative Muka, Ellen Aton, Yeke, look in for that face instead to them. They just go ahead and find a 49, but we know what we ourselves, you're not going to find it. So that's in deadlock today. That's the
and I think the account is experiencing some abstention, and people are abstaining. And this gun section, I think they started being hit by that, because if they are lawmakers in country and they are giving excuses and not showing at this kind of vital point, I think it speaks some signs.
I'm not sure. I am not too sure that Representative Michael Thomas will be up tomorrow. I'm not too sure. Predicated, I'm going to follow what happened today. Home was barricaded this morning. So the support was calling in to return the money or go back to the chief of the House of Representatives to do that job. Also, Honorable Barry for going through that, people are soliciting senators to have an impeach. So you are correct. People are started abstaining from that group. But if Speaker Popper chooses to resign, then it means that when AB is Speaker tomorrow, AB will easily be removed. For some of all,
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
But if Popper should stay his decision,
yeah, sure.
he will put us a new script as journalist, a reporter of Capital Hill.
I know. Thank you, Winston, and I appreciate that so much. And that is it right here. And the pressure keeps piling up on them, and with lack of needed support that they really need from the executive, they are not getting that. That's the political aspect of it. They are not getting that. The executive is very careful before he put himself into a trap, or they use the executive hand to kill the very executive. And that's what they would like to do. You know, you get door unity party people who call themselves lawmakers, and they ain't all done it, they didn't get sense. This board are done that. You know, for people like Mumu Lemo Adide and Seli Talon. Why you think Seli Talon is doing that? Because his brother, Alex Talon. So you see why the transport ministry send that money? You see why the transport ministry is involved? You see why Mo Ali is already aligning with Jeremiah Kuhn, because he believes Joseph Boakai is not somebody, because at a certain point in time, you know that they remove Mo Ali as Secretary General, you're not happy. Mo Ali knows that indeed Joseph Boakai is able, he doesn't have that tied with. So it is true Jeremiah Kuhn that Jeremiah Kuhn used to be giving Mo Ali their money in the United Party. Oh, you know? So Mo Ali and that of Seli Talon, they are working together with Jeremiah Kuhn so that they can remove Joseph Boakai from there. You see, that's how wicked people are. But anyway, we are getting there. And I say thanks so much to all of you. These kind of eye openers will give it to you. What are the move Joseph Boakai? I'm a business. I want to business. But again, we are telling you that the guys have no reason to do what they are doing. So this one will do now, and we get on to our guests who are already here. So y'all listen to this one here. While our guests are getting in already to be pretty seated as we talk about it. And yeah, you can get in. So let me see here. I want to put the volume up so that we have everything set. Yeah. So this is it. Let me see here. We can share this screen. This is the scene. That's something I want you to capture, for which I decided to come on with this. Something I want you people to capture. So there is a scene at the RLJ. Now, Samuel Koga is reporting on his Facebook page or whatever that Fonatikova is paying some student groups and other people to attack them at the RLJ hotel on tomorrow. That scare tactics is now ongoing with Samuel Koga and his team. But let's see Samuel Koga as he arrived on yesterday to greet these angry people who want them to go to work. So let's see how that works out for you. Let's listen to them. Let's have a listen. Yeah, he was coming now to meet them. Let's listen to the out.
Rest assure you that the opportunity being given us to President is coming to show we get the most from him. So President Samuel Kota is coming, the representative of Liberia County, Samuel Kota is coming to make sure he talk to those protesters. So he is telling the police officer to back off. So to the program is purely on the police officers to back off. So just hold Yes. Yes. We are going to work. Your question is good to work, right? Yeah, address. I'm saying we have a
You have to respect your leadership.
Whatsoever I live is not your prerogative. Your concern is that you have to respect. So when you tell me say you should be different. Tell me that it's an affront. So let me say thank you very much. We have decided to show that all sponsor property is our right, right? Yes. Your right to it is our right that it's not all right. It's all right. We elected the president. And legislative you will hear the jargon block, minority, wet, majority, wet. You understand? The establishment block, opposition block. These are all jargons in legislative politics. So we chose to use the word block majority. Because jargon is internationally accepted. And the reason why you are seeing us here is do you want to tell me somebody who has said we are caution man, we decided because we want to make sure that our decisions stand, we don't want to devour ourselves. We decided to be in one place so that everything will have a meeting, the purpose for which we want to pursue will be met. It's not that we want to live flashy life. A lot of respect. Some of us may not be a relative, but we are still actors. You understand? One of the things I expect of you guys is if you are for yourself to an organization, come with a leadership. You want to lead the city, they don't know that leadership.
All right. So, like I'm saying, what is this thing? Oh, okay. So today there was a statement that was released by the student union at the state-run university, the nation's highest institution of learning, and that's the University of Liberia. There was a statement that was released by OSU, and the guys are here so they can take some questions on what's really unfolding in this country. We try to give all of the attention. I think the sound is okay now. Sorry, I had my mic on the mute. So they are here with us tonight on this die. So we're going to be together. But keep playing your cash giveaway on *799 *24#. It's 3,000 when I do the draw, and you'll be able to get it. And like we said, the 3 wise men will come up sometimes next Wednesday. All right. So we are good. Today, some members of the state-run University of Liberia Student Union, in fact, the leadership, and they came out with a position statement in relation to the unfolding at the national legislature, especially the lower house, where some 43 quote-unquote majority members, and I have decided to have a separate section calling for the removal of House Speaker J. Fonati Kofa. And this statement is right here. And we thought to invite them to elaborate further on their position statement, which we will be talking about here tonight on this very day. So that is it right here. And let me get here. There are 3 here. We'll manage it. We'll manage it. There are 3 here with us tonight. Okay. All right. So we have with us here Mr. Abraham Gabe. Is it Gabe? Gapen. Is it P-E-H-N? Gapen. Oh, I'm not seeing the P. Sorry. Yeah. So it's Abraham Gapen. All right. So Abraham Gapen is here. He's the vice president for OSU. Yes. All right. Which one is he? Okay, good. And we have William B. Sandals, student representative. Okay, good. Thank you. At least in your order. That's good. Avin was you who called me. All right, yeah. Avin Vampana. Good, brilliant. So let us start up here. Before we go on, the press statement is right here, and I would like for us to deal with the issue of sharing with the public why your statement was like today, which is very much important for us. So it says here the University of Liberia Student Union demands immediate resumption of work by 43 lawmakers, and 43 lawmakers in the majority block of the national legislature. So it says here, the University of Liberia Student Union also calls upon the 43 lawmakers within the majority block of the national legislature to immediately resume their legislative duties and fulfill their mandate to serve the Liberian people. It is unacceptable that elected representatives have left the legislative chambers without fulfilling their responsibilities to address the pressing issues facing the nation. As students and concerned citizens, we stand for the principles of accountability, transparency, and commitment to public service. We remind these lawmakers that they are entrusted by the people to act in the nation's interest, particularly in these challenging times when decisive leadership and legislative actions are essential. The University of Liberia Student Union demands the following. 1, immediate resumption of duties. We insist that all 43 lawmakers in the majority bloc return to their legislative roles without delay to attend to matters of national interest, including critical issues affecting the economy, education, healthcare, and security. 2, commitment of public welfare. The well-being of the Liberian people must be the foremost priority of the legislature. We urge these lawmakers to dedicate themselves to their roles and provide the necessary oversight and legislative support needed to ensure stability and progress for all Liberians. 3, accountability and transparency. We call for transparency in the actions and decisions. Any prolonged absence from duty undermines the public's trust and weakens the integrity of our democratic institutions. The people of Liberia, especially the youth and student community, are closely watching this situation. We are prepared to take appropriate and lawful actions, including peaceful advocacy and engagement, should there be continued neglect of the legislative responsibilities. Also stands united in this call for action. We urge all stakeholders, civic groups, and citizens to join us in holding our leaders accountable. Liberia's progress depends on the active and responsible participation of its elected officials. Signed, the leadership, University of Liberia Student Union. I just read a statement right before me here. First of all, let me now get on to you guys. And right here, I did call your name, Ibrahim Gapin. And Gapin, and we have William B. Sando having Vakpana. I just read a statement here. Can you people confirm whether this statement is the position statement that was read from also leadership today?
Yeah, that the statement is correct, quite correct. It was released and read by us today.
Okay, good. Good to have that. So let's start out. What prompted this?
Yeah, looking at being student leaders of the University of Liberia and then watching the scene occurring that have been occurring up Capitol Hill.
Okay.
We saw it necessary to come up and say something because people over the times have been thinking that the leadership of also have been bought by some stooges within the government. And we thought to make this clear today, to make this necessary clarity, that the leadership of ASU is the full-fledged representation of all of the students within the University of Liberia. So whenever ASU come up with anything, you should know that it is the direct position of all of the students within the university.
So let's look at the configuration of you people here. From which one of the political parties or alignment you come from, so that we see that it becomes certainly a union. We want to really deceive for the union in your presence here to see. So you come from?
Yeah, I hail from the Student Democratic Alliance. Student.
Okay. All right, good. And you are the VP. Yeah, let's hear from you.
I hail from the Avant-Garde
William.
Student Alliance, PUSA.
Okay, good. Then let's hear from Abel.
Yeah, I also hear from the Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the Steering University of Liberia.
So what is SUP's representation?
The representation is not wrong.
But it's in leadership.
It's closely following, yeah.
It's in leadership.
Yeah, she's the president.
Oh, okay. She's the
president of ASU.
Oh, she's the president of ASU. Yeah. That's great. Good, brilliant. Because we don't want these positions to, these are political times.
Yeah.
You don't want to find yourself here and then you find other people coming by with counter statements. That's what I'm trying to see that we go on with this. So you were in speech about what really prompted you guys to come up with this statement. First of all, from the perspective of ASU, in brief, how can you evaluate the state of affairs of our country in relation to the legislative, because we want to stick only to the legislature, in relation to the legislative functions of these guys?
Yeah. What I may say is the current legislature, the 55th National Legislature, they are not practicing leadership. What we expected from them is kind of far less than what happened in the 54th.
Okay.
We see that certain group of people have decided to bar the entire 55th. And if you look at the percentage of the people, some CDC lawmakers that are even part of this 55th legislature were seduced. They were all brought with resources, state resources. And looking at these kind of things, these are eye-opening things.
You're speaking as if you're definite about what you're saying is fact-based, evidence-based.
Yeah, it's kind of fact-based. I would say it's fact-based because look at our own big brother from Magibi County, Clarice guy.
Okay.
He here from the CDC.
Okay.
And this brother was bought over to the majority bloc with resources, state resources.
We just started hearing about money business. And before we can go in depth into your statement, with what you are hearing, what does this really mean for our democracy, especially when these people are supposed to be the checkers, the gatekeepers, making sure streamline everything? They are our faces to negotiate on our behalf. Whatever the outcome of that negotiation will be, will feel significant impact of it. To hear about what we are hearing now, what does that speak to in terms of the security of the state, the credibility of the state, and the legitimacy of the state to have that independent prowess?
Yes, Abi, let me just say, just today, today I was attended a program at the Corina Hotel discussing about violent extremism and terrorism. And one of the speakers there, he made mention of marine security. He said that we don't have control over our seaport and other things. But one of the things I thought to raise in that particular meeting was majority of the youths, they are unemployed in this country. If you see young people, bulk of the young people, they are unemployed, you will see violent extremism will creep in. And looking at what is happening up Capitol Hill, if we don't take it seriously, if we don't put this under control, when I say putting it under control, I'm talking about the involvement of the executive branch of government, because they are the ones being accused of dishing up state resources to these brothers. So if monies were not being pocketed by these guys, I don't think what is happening up Capitol Hill will be happening. So we are calling on Mr. Boakai. You have to think twice as a president. This is your leadership. If anything happens up there, you'll be held accountable.
Okay, so let me hear from you, William, on this issue.
Yeah, thank you, John. Let me appreciate the president and to add up on his analysis. So you asked two critical questions about how we see the current legislature. And so how we see the current legislature is denigrating to the Liberian people's interest, because this saga started, I think, since February, March, where one of the whistleblowers from within the 55th House of Legislature impressing of this number 10 lawmaker, blew the whistle that from the executive they were induced with material from NG.
Right.
So we started following closely, and he was very much emphatic. He provided evidences to that, which were the underwater check or what, or the gas slip, the coupon they given to him. So we started to follow until it has reached this point with all of inducement issues surrounding and their own self-political interest in terms of 50K buying their cars and so forth. So all of their intent at the 55th legislature has not been in the interest of the ordinary people. And now we have reached this point where they have decided to remove a legitimate speaker. So what led to us having this press conference is that we have noticed that the saga between the two forces cannot be resolved amicably in the shortest period of time.
You sure about that?
Because if you do
they
your
just need
analysis,
numbers, man.
If you just yes, that's where we are heading to. If you do your analysis, it is clear that the so-called majority bloc are basing their interest on self-political sentiment or interest. They are basing their interest on inducement, and they are basing their interest on loyalty. Likewise, if you look at the quote-unquote legitimate black, the fanatic black, they are also building their interest on political alignment, and they are building their interest on loyalty. So if you look at the two faces of the divide, you have to get a number from each of these blocks. So the analysis is who's willing to give out. So the majority of black need about, I think, 12%, and the legitimate black need about, I think, 6 or 7%.
So currently they are at 43.
Yeah, 43 to go to 49.
To go to 49. So they just need probably 6.
They need 6%.
Yeah.
Likewise, the fanatic block.
Yeah, the fanatic block needs no.
Got 37.
Yeah, they need 7 on their side to have to do the business of the Liberian people.
So you see, so the issue of number here has to do with betrayal. So much must betray within the both circle. But we have analyzed the debate. We don't see anybody that is willing to betray, to cross on the other side. So with that analysis, it means that, and the speaker on the other hand, what the guys are hoping for the speaker to resign, putting the political pressure for the speaker to resign. And the speaker has come up bluntly to say he will not resign. If that is the political chicanery for him to resign, he will not resign. So the debate falls on the ordinary people, the Liberian people, meaning that the two forces will fight and the ordinary people will suffer. When two elephants fight, the grass suffer. So with that analysis we have done, although our press conference is putting more pressure on the majority black, because we are looking at the constitutionality of our argument. If you look at 39, Article 39, it talks about them having that authority to form their rules and whatever you remove that speaker, talking about due process coming all the way down to 49.
Okay.
And any of those things have not been done from the angle of the majority of black. Because our constitution makes us to understand in order to remove the speaker, you must give him due process and you must have that number. And the guys contrary are not sitting under the gavel of the speaker. Yet they have now accumulated that 49. They have left the chambers and found their own chamber. They are coming in hotels. So obviously the Liberian people job will not be done. And that is why we are so particular about them. We are saying you have legitimate things, you have raised your coin, because the constitution also talk about the cost.
Okay.
So with that cost you have online, who is to look into that cost? It's the leadership. And the leadership is honored for Natikofa, and Gabo.
Okay.
You're talking about the deputy speaker, you're talking about the executive, you're talking about all of those guys. So these are the guys that must listen if the speaker must recuse himself from your complaints. And none of these things are happening. You are just saying that you will boycott the session and you are hoping for the man to resign. That's your argument. So that argument has no legal standing. It has some political motivation. So we are saying, calling upon them to go in chamber, raise the number, provide the argument, as the speaker has alluded, if you get the number, obviously you will resign. That's fair enough. But you cannot get the number and you're storing the Liberian people business, then the student community now has to come in. And how can we come in? We stand in defense of the ordinary people, calling upon them to do the Liberian people business. Any attempt not to do so, we can safely say, like we have proffered on all of radio, saying that 73 seat will be declared vacant by the student community. We'll declare all of those guys non-personal non grata, because the speaker also has the option to go and lobby within that so-called majority block. So both of them have the way. If both of them cannot achieve it, the Liberian people.
But your pressure is mainly on the guys
when it comes to the legal aspect.
Okay, the legal aspect.
Yeah,
you are calling on them.
So if the both parties cannot coincide and amicably resolve, the student community will declare the 73 seat vacant and will appoint our ideologues, our militants, our cadre to those 73 seats and will put people there.
Is that also lawful?
Obviously, it is lawful. Why make it lawful? Because if you look at Article 1 of the Constitution, power is inherent in the people.
Okay.
And we elected these people.
Okay.
Koga is telling you that we wait for 6 years from now. I think listening to the video, you must go and voting up before. Look at why he's telling you. He's not care about what he's doing now, but we should wait for 6 years from now. Even if he feels to return to session, we must wait for 6 years, he be LRJ and receive 15K. That is another thing. So if people like Koga can come with such an analogy, why can't we declare the 73 seat vacant and remove all of them and take charge until they can go back? Because we're giving them option. Probably we might be acting. We'll get an option to unite and coincide with the Liberian people. Yes, coming, we have reached a conclusion. We're coming back to session, and now you guys can vacate our seat. Obviously, we'll vacate. But insofar they cannot reach that number,
I want to see that.
We will besiege the 55th House of Legislature. Will declare the 73 seat vacant by the Liberian people. All sector. This is not just about the student community. The student community is only leading the consciousness to the Liberian people, the motorcyclists, the Yano boys, the marketeers, the media, and so forth. All sections of the society, we are leading this debate. This is not about any political influence or political sentiment. This is not CDC, this is not even the rescue, this is not ANC. This is the student community, and independent body will lead a revolution in this country on those 73 lawmakers if they cannot settle their dispute that is not in the interest of the Liberian.
All right, so Alvin, let's go further on this, Alvin, and you can expand further on this. Looking at where we are getting with all of this, the country, we are at the verge of getting budget. And currently, I think the student community or every other community should start lobbying with their lawmakers now, talking about if the budget were to come, what is supposed to be there for them here and there. But currently, as it stands, it could be a serious hurdle ahead of all of that. We're almost in November. By November, the budget should be somewhere in. So, and this is happening at this time. What concern ye, the student community, strategically, especially when you have branded these people, say, look, they have not been proceeding rightly. Now they are coming up to say, look, we need to change leadership so that we'll proceed rightly. But yeah, you are giving an ultimatum again. Where do we place you guys with this?
I mean, like they have all said, I mean, that is to tell you that we are emphatic, we are unequivocal in our tune. I mean, in regards to the happening at the 55th National Legislature, it clearly shows that the country is in turmoil.
Okay.
It clearly shows that, in fact, the negative and the bad proceedings of those lawmakers who were elected by the people to go and serve them well are not proceeding in accordance to what they were elected for. And as such, that is the reason for which the student community and the youth community in totality have come to stand in the center stage. And mind you, I listen to you asking the student representative, I mean, whether our actions, our soon to be taking actions is in accordance with the law. Taking into consideration that in every political given situation, wherein the constitutional or situation is in crisis, it means that we are not no longer going to preside, in accordance with what you call legality.
So you will suspend the constitution by then. The constitution will be suspended then.
The exhibitors by those lawmakers show that the country is in crisis. I mean, I'm talking about the crisis state of the country. I mean, whenever the country is in crisis and conscious-minded voices are not coming up to speak to the occasion to provide remedy to the situation, it is the onus is upon the shoulder of the young people in the student community to provide direction. That is the reason for which the student community have come up to provide direction in such situation. And it is not strange when some would say it's not strange. I mean, as far back as history, I've told about the happenings of students and young people in history. As far back in 1976 by the South African student with the South African rising, you saw what the student did. In fact, the apartheid regime was imposing the African language on the black student. And in fact, that situation in generality brought about crisis in the country, and the student provided directions. I mean, are you not aware when the student representative, are you not aware when historical precedent about what happened in recent days, 2021, in recent years, 2021, 2022 in Sri Lanka? When the young people in totality rose to the occasion, and the vandalized, in fact, they went into history and took and pushed to the wall those people who were presiding at the time at the echelon of power in Sri Lanka, that brought to what we refer to as history in Sri Lanka by the young people. So we are saying to you, in regards to your question, in regards to the budget, I mean, the budget is the national tools of the country, the national budget. So insofar that the guys are not in the position to preside, to be willing to take the national budget for the executive branch to preserve, it means that they are in a position to hold the country hostage. And as such, if those people who were duly elected by us, given the power given to us in Article 1 of the 1986 Constitution, saying that the Constitution and explicitly amplifying, saying that all power is inherent within the people, within the position of the people. And when we say it should not be in the way in which you guys are proceeding, then we say maybe probably you are not following. Because when the Constitution says all power is inherent in the people, they are talking about the people using the power in their discretion. The people using their power in their discretion to execute the democratic tenets and actions that will be in the interest of the overall majority of the state.
So with all you guys are saying, and I'm understanding it from different perspective, the guys, quote unquote, are being accused of breaking their very laws. Now, at what point did the student community got to this rude awakening of breaking of laws here and there? From the inception of this government, there have been a lot of issues people have been raising here and there where they said that the lawmakers themselves were not keeping some agencies of government in check as to the institution of the rule of law. Now, that thing has now catapulted to the high echelon of where we are today. Does it really come as a surprise to you people that we are at this level today, Mr. VP?
No, for me, I would say no. It's not a surprise. That's the reason we have decided to call these brothers to check.
Okay.
We are looking at what have been happening over the years. For me, one of the things I want to tell Mr. Koga, for me, I don't call him a representative because he doesn't even resemble one representative.
Wow.
If you can look at a group of young people like us, progressive and ideological young people,
the man accused of
telling the public
that we see
that we receive $50,000.
Can you imagine?
Oh, where you coming from?
Oh,
the brother is from Utopia. No, he's not serious. The brother is not serious. I don't know how the people in Nimaka and the people voting in one brother. He really need to come to order. But one of the things I want to say,
they are noted for voting people over and over. Prince Johnson is just a classic example. Koga second. It's good.
If these people keep disrespecting the constitution of this country, we are going to disrespect it. We're going to get every one of them from that house. They need to go home and rest. If it cause us to go to their home and barricade their homes that they will be in for 1, 2, 3 weeks, we can do it.
And to all up, Brother Ibi, the special assistant provided some historical analysis as it relates to the stance of the student community in the global region at large. Let me give you a historical flashback in the great United States where democracy has been practiced. In around the 60s, the American government and that of the Vienna government were at war. And so when President Richard Nixon, between 1964 moving forward to the election, got elected in 1968, but during the campaign did promise that when he has gotten the power, he will stop the war, put an end to the Vienna War. When President Nixon got the power in 1968, unfortunately, he breached his promise made to the American people, the youthful generation, and knowing that the student community is the most conscious terrain or community in any given society. So the student community took that statement from President Nixon as a sacred statement. To have seen President Richard Nixon deviating and wage war on Cambodia, a state that is within Vienna, it became a contradiction. The next day, a protest was being organized by the Kent University in Ohio, where 30,000 students mobilized and were gathered in the street. Obviously, the government was jittered and they led about 100 men against 3,000 students. Only 4 students were being killed, about 9 injured, but there were a lot of damages. At the end of the day, the protest escalated to a nationwide protest where 4 million citizens were gathered on the street.
You are speaking about courageous citizens who
I'm
are
telling
willing
you.
to stand up for themselves.
And that's
courageous
why
student community.
And that's
why
why
the Liberia cannot tap.
Granted.
The lawmakers, they don't have fear for you people. In fact, as you are saying it, look at the accusation against you guys already. Meaning you are paid. You don't have the courage. You are induced. You accuse them of being induced, but your stance is an induced stance according to Koga.
Thank you for that. If you understand Koga's political chicanery. So we give you this historical play-by-play description because this is what we have read. And the attempt for a legitimate government to go against the will of the people. Because first of the American society back then was against the war of the nation reaching war against Vienna. Because it has to do with the global, safety and what have you. To have promised the people and did otherwise, like what our lawmakers are doing, the 55th.
Do we have the courageous set of people? That's what I'm bringing all of.
So the question of courageousness will emanate from the student community. We'll provide the argument, we'll provide the bravery. And put your course on and see how many students or citizens we are about to call. We have experienced that on the previous media we just let. What we have understood in every given revolution, there must be men of bravery, men of consciousness, men of political integrity that will provide the argument. That's what has been lacking in the society of our country. All the Liberian people need is conscious young revolutionaries that will give them the debate, the argument, and they will follow. And that's why we are embarking on. And will not stop. We can assure you, moving forward as per the conversations that are ongoing. Even you, AB, you have a role to play because it has to do with the senators of our country. And this is why you have to follow us, this platform, to air our view and provide the argument. And all media, all lives within this country are involved. Motorcyclists are involved because there are so many things that have been happening to different sectors. So the people who need a single movement.
This movement?
A level of the Liberian people. That's how revolution starts. And that is why we are calling upon our lawmakers, even the executive, to not take this for granted. Because this is the people's interest. An attempt to allow them blow out of proportion where these guys will carry on their political rejection from the Liberian people's interest. We will use this movement to rally all of what has been happening in the country. And the Liberian people will avenge their anger. And that's why we will openly declare the 73 seat. And all of those guys will go sit who will preserve and will demand the executive to bring that budget. Will determine will allot not less than 200 million to education in this country. Will allot not less than 60 million to agriculture. Those things that they should be doing for the
That would be
Liberian
total
people.
government shutdown, because if you have the lawmakers and you have to oust them,
it will not be so what is happening now is now a government shutdown. Maybe this is critical. What is happening now? Are we now approaching a government shutdown?
Okay.
We have already approached a government shutdown. But what we are saying, these few guys, handful, that we gave our legitimate right to, and they are abusing it, and you think we'll sit and fold our hand, we'll usher them from the house.
Why is it in all your statement, and I was reading through your statement and still try to read.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you talk about the issue of accountability and transparency.
Yeah.
And in their press statement, currently as we speak, the guys in their own horses standing rules also talk about how lawmakers have to be venerable and, of course, respectable, and they should be people who are very much brave enough, and of course stay away from the issue of corruption. They're rule 41, 42, so forth. And they use this very rule against Ellis Tyler, asking you to step aside, especially when that global witness issue came up.
Yeah.
Now, in this your accountability, you didn't talk anything about the allegation levied against them. You are only asking them to go back. The LSCC is in siege of a whistleblower who took a matter, one of their own colleagues, or the whistleblower who took the issue. You are not calling them to check to see to it that they account for their actions as well. You didn't say that yet.
So that's why the word use accountability is being prescribed upon them.
Okay.
We may not be explicit in the discussion of it,
Okay.
but it also falls on them. We demand them for accountability. So if there is an allegation of bribery, it shows lack of accountability and the transparency. That's why we use that word on the so-called majority black.
Okay.
So that is why now the LCC is carrying on their investigation, because if you lack accountability, like it is being professed in the public, like you receive 15K, and that's why today you are lodging in LRJ instead of your homes, using that less than 200 United States dollars a day on each lawmaker. You know what it means. So for Mr. Koga to have come and align the issue of corruption and bribery on the student community, quite unfortunately. If you are a legitimate lawmaker, quote unquote, you didn't receive 50K, you are being accused and alleged receiving 15K and left with about 10K, which is 25K. How can anyone? So who is giving all the 50K? When we are declining the 73 seat vacant, who is giving all the 50K?
And they are also asking who gave them the 15K. You don't have how the source.
So Representative Collins was right.
No, but we haven't known the source to that 15K.
So
we saw money, we saw 15K.
So Representative
Collins signed for 15K. Yeah, we saw the 15K, but
coming from the black, coming from the majority black, it is the majority black that should answer to the question: who are they receiving this money from? But they are yet. But Representative Collins has an evidence of receiving money from them.
So when does all of their action start? The guys are going back to session on tomorrow. In fact, one thing is that they have already defied the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court have already told them to stay off until the 4th of November.
Okay.
They said we'll not listen to the Supreme Court.
So you see?
So they are going to section.
So you see?
And tomorrow again, they are repeating it.
So tomorrow, as per our discussion and our conclusion, tomorrow might be the last section on orthodox and quasi session that will be held against the Liberian people by the so-called majority bloc. Tomorrow is an option.
The deadline.
The deadline.
Okay.
Moving forward.
So they should go discuss your position statement in their plan.
Tomorrow we expect them to discuss and adjourn and come together and do the Liberian people business. Anything other than tomorrow. Moving forward, Friday mobilization starts, Saturday mobilization start, Sunday mobilization start, Monday mobilization start, and you know what will happen Tuesday.
Okay, yeah. And so the student representative along with the vice president are very emphatic, and these are our point. We are now going to relent on our thought. Like he said, this is a revolutionary student struggle, and as such, we must take the battle into our hands. And those people who are referred to as honorable people are not acting honorably. We, the student, will come in the space and provide direction for them. So when someone talk about Honorable Koga, alleging or raining allegation on us, I can say that statement lacks the weight of logic. In fact, the fact that we are declaring all of those 73 seats vacant, it means that we are not in the interest or on the South any of the parties. Okay. Our interest here is the interest of the Liberian people that are talking about those two factors or two sides. should come to the center stage in the main chamber plenary to discuss the Liberian people issue. Are you not aware that the Liberian people issue have been brought to hostage nature? The guys who are claiming to be legitimate people from the angle of the Speaker Bell are not doing business because that numbers lacks quorum ability. And the guys who have the number on the other side for the three are not in main chamber. And I meet him to exit.
But they said they are doing business. Oh.
Which business? We have not seen any outcome of business. In fact, are you aware that the IMF have something on a desk in regards to the IMF extended credit facility program that should be discussed? And all of those things are lingering in the space of our country, and we the people are being strangulated. So that's the reason for which, in fact, evident to the fact that we are saying it is a conglomeration of student grouping. On our phone, we have multiples, of course. Student groupings are calling on now. In fact, I was just following our student group from the Grand Gila, calling on the lawmaker to provide accountability and go back to work. So the momentum is growing, and all we are saying, we are giving those guys ultimatum on tomorrow to see how best they can settle that issue. Anything other than that, Liberia as a country will experience what you call a new revolutionary youthful history in this country.
Mr. Vice President, we are about to get to the lines to interact with the public. That is not the first time we're hearing about removal. One will wonder why now. We had the snow removal, the student community. I know you people may have had some discussions among yourselves, do some research and thing, confer with previous leaders as to when these kind of situation ever confronted and what did they do. I know those are so. The student community, the role you play now is not what we saw in the snow remover, the tallow remover, and this is just Kofa's remover. Someone will point and say, let's see why Koga is saying someone must have moved the student community through an inducement.
So maybe before the president comes in, but then we're not at the center stage.
Okay.
That's just fair enough.
Okay.
Those who were at the center stage fail to know the essence of their generation as student leaders.
Okay.
So probably if they didn't follow, then that left with their history.
Okay.
So this is our generation, and this is happening right before our eyes, and so we'll not let it pass over.
Like that.
So Amy, what I would like to say, every generation,
it
has its own ways of making its own history.
That's fun for now.
Yeah.
And some of us, we were not around when those things were happening. But now you have men. Men have risen up to the occasion. And this is our time. We are going to unite this country and make Liberia a country that is open for business.
And before you can get in, before I get to the lines, and does these counter accusations and allegations of inducement come as a surprise, especially in the wake of previous modus operandi, where people think people would never operate on their own urge? They will have to be induced before they push a specific belief or so forth here and there. So don't you think it's happening because of precedents in time past?
I mean, that is the proceeding of human nature. I mean, most people will always speculate, but what is very important and very prudent is that we who are leading the revolution should always be conscious, far-sighted, and focused in terms of all leading the revolution. Like Malcolm X would say, your mind should be fixed and to be fixed on whatever you want to do. Like he said in one of the phrases, I am for justice no matter who it is for or against. I am for the truth no matter who say or not. So we are conscious-minded, student-bodied, are leading this charge because we think that Liberia is far below the belt with the amount of years that Liberia have lasted for on the surface of the earth. Look around our belt. I mean, African belt, and see countries that are far more progressively. And we have people who should be honorable are behaving in an unorthodox proceeding. And we say no to this. And like the vice president said, every generation will have that movement proceeding. Like the student representative spoke about Frank Fana. He said, out of obscurity, every generation shall have its or her movement and proceeding. And so we are doing this with word of inducement. We are doing it with courage. We are doing this with commitment and in the interest of the Liberian people.
And someone will say here, men are listening, ready to stand up for their time, and by their time, we told you people Liberia is changing, and we will certainly get there. There are now men rising up to stand up to the occasion. void of any inducement. They believe in what they believe in. So we have 3 student and student members of the OSU and this University of Liberia Student Union. Ibrahim Gapeng and Vice President. He's here with us. William B. Sando, student representative, and we have Arvin Vakpana, student representative and secretary general. So let's get to the lines. Interact with our callers. They are saying tomorrow is the deadline. Tomorrow is the deadline. Now, these guys will sit in what they describe as their own self-start chambers with their self-start majority block. Anything other than that, if they don't get to the student community, say we have yielded to you people. Okay, before we get you, how do you people know that they've yielded to that? Because if tomorrow is the deadline, though they will have section, you said you will start rallying as of Friday, Saturday. Friday. So you expect them to call you to tell you, say, oh, we have listened to you people, we're not doing.
No. Obviously, tomorrow we'll all be on the social media following.
Okay.
If they should appear at the House of Legislature, if they mean well for the Liberian people, like we have intimated in our press statement, calling upon them to get in the meeting and start their argument as per their own laws and the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. Obviously, they need not to call up person. The Liberian people know that.
So tomorrow you expect them in their chambers to say, look, these students have told us to go back.
Yeah.
So as of today, this is our last day here. You expect to hear that pronouncement from them tomorrow?
No, meaning tomorrow we want to see them in the meet chambers.
No, that is if they don't go in the meet chambers and they go in their separate chambers. Yeah, tomorrow.
Then it means that tomorrow that's the last day for them.
Okay.
Moving from Friday, mobilization start, and Tuesday will be a different ball game.
Yeah, and before you go to the line, let us be a clarity here in regards to the position distinction.
Okay.
I am the Secretary General in the Office of the Student Representative.
Oh, okay, Secretary General. I like that. All right, so let's get to the lines entire with your callers right here on the radar. They are right here, and I'm discussing issues of national concerns because where we are, the country is at a crossroad. You did listen to the former president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She took her entire birthday issue to talk to this issue, meaning every other well-meaning person is very much concerned about the country shut down by these few people actions. And this is where we are. So let's get to the lines. Interact with your callers now. The numbers are there, and you can just read out the numbers. And of course, 0772-239933, the female line. Our mothers got theirs. And they will be on the way in. The WhatsApp number is also there. You can also make use of it. And the MTM line is also active as well. So you can make use of all of those lines. Let me get to my former time friend and a brother. But let me get on to this fresh caller here. Just a minute, please. We don't have time. Hello. Hello. Your line is terrible. I can't continue with you. Yeah. But man, you got to, yeah. Hello. Go ahead quickly.
Thank you. Let me speak. Good evening to your studio guest.
Yeah, you have a minute, please. Go ahead quickly.
It's okay. 30 seconds is sufficient.
Okay.
Well, let me. These young people, these as students and their own leaders who have come to speak to consciousness or to bring consciousness to our honorable leaders. I'm CRC Emmanuel M. Tuba Jr. and I'm a student of the University of Bureau. I want to appreciate also for this genuine step because the University of Liberia remains the third spur of this country. When 73 lawmakers who have been paid with the Liberian people money used to attend section but to sit in a luxurious hotel wherein they have Liberian people money and there is an allegation of alleged corruption that each of them is repeating. Okay, I stand with Otto and I stand with the student body when I go on all student body. Not the student body but all other young persons who believe that our future is attached to the body. We want to call all Liberians to join the struggle and to bring consciousness to the lawmakers since they have lost consciousness.
Thanks, boss.
We won't be paying them money. They're not doing the Liberian people's job. We want to call the Ministry of Finance. Every budget that will be every money that will be paid for them for this month, they should not receive salary. Thursday will be the last day. If they don't attend section, there'll be a mass and we'll join every project that will come in this project. Thank you for a 40-minute time.
All right, thanks, boss, for your contribution. The next caller on the WhatsApp line. Hello.
Hello, Eddie. Please,
Yeah, hello,
I don't want to call my name, but I just want to give this to the people.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the students in there, you guys relax. Somebody will be watching your back. You are 100% protected.
Okay.
And I want to tell the government that any attempt to make you hurt a student, things fall apart. The central will no longer hold. And they will be starved from the back. So that just all Those who know my voice know where I come from. Thank you,
I know for sure. Medicine Yadoro from the United States of America. Let's hear from you quickly. Yeah, let's hear from you, Medicine.
Thank you so much for hosting those students. You know, I listened to those guys, they articulate well. As one of them said, there is already government shutdown in Liberia. The fact that the lawmaker, the representative, House of Representatives, is not having session to discuss any issue, to move it to the House of Senate, it's a government right now. Nothing is functioning. So the only thing those guys can do, that what they're saying, mobilize the student community around the 15 countries, put them in the street in Monrovia to capture Benin, and lock them up. That they should not enter. They should not even enter and go and sit down in certain part of the building without going to have a strong session together. So we support those guys. And one of them was making reference to Saint Koga. Saint Koga is one of the useless representatives from Nima County. The guy has been represented for 18 years. Maybe I just told you the few days. You'll find a way to go to that guy's district. 18 years represented. He and Prince Johnson, the both of them are casting, five casting. They are from the same place. And they are the longest serving lawmakers in Nima County. Nothing in their home. There's gone election campaign. It was President Wheon through Nima for Wheon, headed by Shadrach Joki. He sent a yellow machine there. President Wheon sent a yellow machine there to open the road to their home. Shadrach Joki then carried the yellow machine. The people were dancing in front of the yellow machine with leaf in their hand. That guy is doing nothing for his people.
All right.
They have to come to Monrovia and
Thank you.
money.
Thank you, Medicine. We owe you at that. Thank you so much. Let me get to the next caller. Hello, how are you doing?
Yes, AB, hello.
Yeah, hello, how are you doing? Please go on. Let's listen to you, please.
Yeah, this is Melvin calling from Istanbul.
Istanbul, let's hear from you.
Yeah, AB, I want to talk to the student in studio. The students should focus whatsoever demonstration they want to take on, they should focus on those guys that refuse to go to work.
Okay.
The other people are going to work. If they are saying that they want to go against the 73 men, it means that they are working for the opposition group. They want to pressurize the speaker to resign. Because they should be telling the Liberian people that they are going against the 42 men that are not going to work. Instead, they are saying that they will go against the whole 73. If you're going against the 73, the same people say you want to pressurize the speaker to resign. You should protect the speaker because it's constitutional. The law says that to tell of these
so you expect them to disrupt the 43 and then force them into submission. All right.
Submission. It should be there. Thank you, sir. That's what they need to do. They should change that statement.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Thanks for your contribution. We appreciate it. Let me get to the MTN line on this side as well. Prince Sherry, I'll get to you later on. Hello, how are you doing?
Good evening, people like to be, as I always call you, my mentor, capital MENTOR. What's up, Chief?
Go on, boss. Thank you so much. I appreciate for having you on tonight.
Thank you, man. Thank you for love or fear, man. But let me say thanks to my brilliant comrades.
Hello? Wow. You just hang on like that. Sorry, but you can call back if you can, my chief. Sorry. Yeah, let's hear from you up on the WhatsApp line. Prince Sherry.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Brother Abi, for the opportunity afforded me. And let me say thanks to these young men in the studio and our sister also. I think something different is happening in Liberia. Liberians are waking up and they are becoming more conscious of what is happening in their environment. And I want to say kudos to these young people. I just want to send out a caveat to the Liberian National Police or the security apparatus. All of what these people are saying, they are saying they want a better Liberia for you, law enforcement officers, so that you can have a dignified living. Any attempt to harm these people, most of you, and when I say this specifically to Gregory Como, your family here in the United States of America will also have questions to answer to the Liberian people. Those of you police that are in Liberia and in the Liberian communities and you think you can be used to harm people, you have reached your Waterloo. Your family and friends will have questions to answer. You don't tell somebody when they are angry how to behave. Thank you. and for giving me the opportunity.
All right.
Bye,
Thanks, boss, for your contribution. We appreciate that. Let me get on to the next caller here on this WhatsApp line or the regular line. All right, this one will do. Hello, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, boss. Go on. Let's listen to you, please.
Let me say hi to the brothers in studio there, and they are staying and welcoming. This is Edmond Carr, the visual impaired guy that keeping this unprepared person on feet of the fire.
Wow.
You know, we join them. This fight will not be their fight alone. They are the students that are championing this thing, and this is why we are doing same time with all numbers that we are here, we are prepared, but we are waiting for somebody to take the lead. Enough is enough. We can't have 42, sometimes you see them 35, sometimes you see 42, sometimes you see 41. Only the whole country has also. No, it doesn't work that way. The speaker is not refusing. The speaker is telling you, come under the gavel, bring your number, put your cam on the floor, let us discuss it. If there is a need that I found guilty, I will leave the country move forward. But here you are insisting in removal. Now we're hearing that you say you should resign. And we are saying they come here to our speaker for nothing. Every day try to say you will resign in the name of so-called peace. We will come after you. You will be our target.
Okay.
Let the right thing be done.
Okay.
Let the guys do the needful. We can't continue to one thing over and getting the same result.
Thank you, Car. Thanks,
Thank
Car.
you.
We appreciate. Let me get on to the WhatsApp line again. Hello, how you doing? Then the landline. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, AB.
Yeah.
Thanks for connecting me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm Dennis and I call you from Germany. So I just want to say bravo to the guys because this is crucial for our country. So what's going to happen if a step is not taken or measures are not put in place? What's going to happen in the near future? You're going to have 43 or 40 lawmakers coming together to intentionally put aside the Constitution and say, we don't need a president. We don't want a president. So as a result of that, we are not going to regular or chamber or the regular plenary and go to the joint chamber or the joint wheresoever they have regular session. The intent of that will be, at the end of the day, it is the president who will be affected. So the president will come in and say, these guys, once they are not going to the regular session, I have to give in. That is, I got to bribe. I got to provide money. And knowing it, the Constitution provides that if the lawmakers are not, or if the lawmaker want to get rid of the president, they have to present a bill of impeachment. That is the procedure. So if our students don't take the step now to erect the necessary checkpoints, I can tell you this will happen in the future. A group of lawmakers will just come out and say, we don't want a president.
You're right.
So I want to say bravo to them, and every Liberian who is concerned about the country is in support, and in any other way, we're going to reach out to them.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Chief, for your contribution. We appreciate that. Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah. Hello, Evie.
Yes, boss. Go on. Let's listen to you, please.
Thank you, Evie. My name is Washington Swoop, Secretary General of the Liberian Civil Rights Movement, and I call from DCO.
Let's hear from you quickly.
Evie, let me commend the young people in studio, and let me say thanks to them for taking the lead. But you see, the entire issue is the Liberian people issue. Everybody needs to wake up. Lely rightfully said, tomorrow is a deadlock. If they cannot do the right thing,
Wow. So you hang off or just hanging in that. All right. So let me get on to this one. Hello.
Good evening, Evie.
Good evening. Let's listen to you, please.
Brother, thank God for life. At least we can see Liberians trying to get on their feet, knowing reality now. Jeremy, I want to be proud of you guys. At least among you young guys, some of you guys are rising up and making sure that our country take the rightful path. Like the guy from the United States, where he said, Honorable Flanty and his men are in office. These guys are in a hotel. I think these guys, we need to get rid of it and take them back to job. Since they don't know where they're supposed to go to work, we waiting for you guys to get ready. I let the deadline and I support the deadline as a Liberian. Anyway, Tari and Emmanuel, we are calling from my big community, but I'm so glad for what I'm hearing this evening. Okay. And I think I can rally my own people too, that we all will show the guys their function. Thank you for affording me the time.
All right. Thanks so much, boss, for your contribution. So we'll just pick two more and then hear from them and get their parting comments. Then we wrap it up. Hello, how are you doing? But I'm doing your draws already for those of you who want the 3,000. You know, normally I don't just call people. A lot of you want your 3,000, but you can save it for our jackpots. Hello, how are you doing? Hello. Wow, mom slips off. So let me get on to this. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, boss. Go on.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Yeah, Ebi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
How you doing, boss? Go ahead. Let's listen to you, please.
Yes, Ebi. My name is Wheon. I call from Nigerian Chat to be precise.
All right.
Let me say thank you to the conference today because you know, Ebi, actually it reached at the point where we are young people who have been getting involved because when you look at it, the lawmakers don't respect the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
They don't respect the Supreme Court. So if you don't respect the Supreme Court, who will you respect? So now we have to make sure that we get involved because if we don't get involved another day, it will be another thing. Yeah, I love the stands that Francis Black are taking. So these are men with integrity. They say they will not go to whether majority black. They will not go there. They will make sure that they show a red. They're not saying that don't remove Francis. No, they are saying you have legitimate concerns. But come to the meet chamber so that you can have the further removal until because if you have the foreigner, come to the meet chamber, they be actually tested the same thing.
You're right.
So why is that you guys they are holding on to you having so much and let me just tell you for the record. Yesterday I went to Koga and Rubokole, they say, you know, they don't want to remove Franti. If they won't have no comment in Franti, that's the reason why they don't want to give it due process. So and they added very, very casted. The first time they said we were presenting a petition of Franti in Italy. I mean, yeah, in Italy. And now they are saying that they don't have no comment in Franti. So it means that no comment according to them that they are not due process.
Is there anything in the Constitution that calls for no confidence, suspension, or expulsion? See you, my brother. Let me get on. Let me get on to the next caller. Hello, how are you doing? Yeah, how you doing, Chief? Go on, let's listen to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm calling from the state of Wisconsin and having to be the former representative candidate of District Number 8, Niba County, on the CDC ticket.
Okay, go on.
And those were some of the reasons that some of us left for it.
Go ahead, boss man. Hello?
To the gentlemen in studio tonight that we support them and whatever it is that they want to take off to protest in Liberia, we support it. And now, as a former police officer of the Republic of Liberia, I want to call upon the police director, Gregory Comer, to make sure to feed our supporters for our protesters water to get them food whenever they are ready in the street. Anything of such that you will put police in the street to harm the children or to hurt them, it will not be in the good interest of our country. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Thanks, boss, for your contribution. We appreciate all of that. And before we close, just your parting comments, this final question. The student community, you have a huge block. The circles you see in the streets there, they are part of you. They run these circles, they join you in school, and they have to go back commuting here and there. Some of the students, you may not see them in class where school to open because their parents may have been laid off. A lot of things happening, and it's upon the lawmakers to provide avenue, make sure that the push for employment policies to be in place for the sake of our Liberians so that they are well empowered. Where we are now, are you guys launching a cutoff point campaign now? Say, look, enough is enough. Your generation, yeah, is it what you are launching now?
Yeah, so you have said it well. It is the generation movement. It is our generation movement to launch the campaign in telling our lawmakers that it is time now that they vacate from those misbehavior of governance proceeding, in making sure that they do those things that are necessary.
So you're now going to be watching them. If they were to go to section, whatever they do now will be under the microscope. Is that what you are saying?
Certainly, we are microscoping them. We are microscoping them with our revolutionary eyes. And in one of the quarter call, and then he said he is not in the position where we are calling for the both sides to play their part. In fact, we should be highly positioning ourselves on the majority block and leaving Fonanti, because it is the majority block that are not going to session. We say no to that. In fact, the 1986 Constitution of the Republic of Liberia clearly spare out the two functions of the both sides. The 1986 Constitution, specifically Article 49, clearly state out or spread out that, saying that those people who are in the majority number should be in a majority number with what they have and go through the due process of what the Constitution says in the rules says. Giving a cost for removing a speaker or elected leaders. That is the only argument. But we are saying to them that they should go through the reforms and due process. And Fonati also, the speaker, Honorable Fonati Kova also have a part to play. A part here is enshrined in the 1986 Constitution, specifically Article 33, that says with the minority number as a presiding officer, you should have the right to compel them to come. So we are calling Honorable Fonati Kofa to play a part that is ensuring.
But he has played that part by running to the Supreme Court.
And the law say you should do that day to day. And in fact, that is a part we don't know. In fact, we expect him to be an educated man, very inclined man. So he should use a skill, a political and legal skill to bring those people in the mainstream, as well as the majority member to do so. So our interest and our fight is not for any side. We are for the interest of the Liberian people in making sure that we call spade a spade.
Thank you, Alvin Vakpana. Yeah.
And so thank you, President AB. It is very clear enough for us to render this disclaimer. We have not said on this radio that we have to go to LRJ tomorrow.
No, it is Koga who said that. You people didn't say it. Koga is alleging that people have been paid to do that.
So that's why we are rendering our disclaimer. If there should be any convergence of citizenry, which of course is their right, to go at LRJ tomorrow, that would not be under the approval of Osu's leadership.
And they say RLJ.
RLJ. Yeah. No, let's make that clear.
Okay.
What we are saying here, tomorrow will be an ultimatum for them, and anything that happens moving forward from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, if we are to gather, we will gather at the 55th House of Legislature, not at LRJ. So let's make that, or LRJ whatsoever. Let's make that clear. So to conclude, we appreciate the colors, and we said this is the Liberian people business. Your rights have been trampled on. Your survival has been trampled on. Ebi, today at the University of Liberia, there's nothing progressive there. Insofar, those guys who are to allot budget and you show that the University of Liberia be updated to quality, you are aware that in the past budget they said they were giving the University of Liberia 34 million. Today, nothing is happening. Whether that money has been disbursed, we don't know. And nothing is happening. Ebi, everything is still
stagnated. The guys are supposed to provide the oversight to make sure that it works.
University students are yet to understand anything, but the guys are teaching out 15K and what have you. And that is why this core is holistic as per whatever position you find yourself, whatever society you form yourself, an institution. We are calling upon this. The student community is only leading and providing a conscious revolutionary core. All those who are affected by the unorthodox action of these lawmakers must join the struggle when it shall be announced.
Thank you, William B. Sando, and of course, Abraham, VB. Let's hear from you, please.
Yeah, Chief. Firstly, let me say thank you for affording us the opportunity to sit in these Cousin studios. And this is what we have to say to our brothers who are socially misbehaving at RLJ. The brothers are drinking wine, they are merrymaking, They are womanizing. I know those are the things that they are doing over there. We are telling them that Tuesday will be Osa, and we are coming for them. It's either they go and do the Liberian people work, or they go and sit home forever. That's all we have to say.
Have you both contacted will you be contacting the Justice Ministry as to your planned actions so that security could be provided?
Obviously, now this is the current call. I think they are following. We need not to reduce the writing. All we will do on that day, we need security.
Okay.
We need security, we need to be protected.
All right.
That is our constitutional right to call upon our lawmakers to do the right thing.
All right. We want to say thanks to you, Ibrahim Gapen, and of course, Vice President also William B. Sano, student representative, is right here with us, and Alvin Vakwana as well. I want to say thanks to all of you for being here. We'll always be here, and whenever you want to make those calls, we can be used as a vehicle to make sure that your calls are taken through.
Thank you. We appreciate it. So
all right, great. All right, folks, that's it. The guys, they have been here with us from the University of Liberia Student Union. So we're right here on this very day. I want to say thanks to all of you for the time. Until we are back here, do have a pleasant night.